Okay, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 18,000. Yo, what up? How's it going? Who's here? So these are some. What's going on? Let me get in the character real quick. Actually, need to save this because I'm gonna be drawing something off that later. And then let me see one more other team. This was like really not. That'd be hilarious if this like doesn't work. I'll be like, man, fuck streaming. I'll never stream again. If this doesn't work, we're done streaming. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'll never do it again, I promise. Ah, there we go. Alright, so this should work. Okay, let's test this thing out for real. Toy. It's working. Alright, cool, we're working. Excellent. That's good news, because I was about to freak out. Let's see, we got some good clothing movement stuff in this Pinterest page. All right. So fairly simple. You grab a pencil, some books, some things of that nature. Now, where the hell is my pencil sharpener? That's like the last thing we need. It's right here. Hell yeah, we're good to go. All right, tight. How's it going? Being this biatch. What's going on, y'all? No lag. Yes. This might actually work tonight, you guys. No lag. It's new. All right, so I'm gonna be doing some wrinkle practice because I don't know. It's been a while since I've practiced wrinkles. It's something that I really like to just do and just be better at, and yeah, I'm gonna go through like kind of walking through like how I study wrinkles, where I'm looking at wrinkles, the whole process, and some books that have really helped me understand wrinkles. And yeah, and hopefully you can learn something. If you have a sketchbook, you can sketch along with me. It'll be cool. I have bunch of stuff going on. Never done this before, so you know, let's see what happens, right? I've never done like a teaching stream or whatever. Yeah, I'm doing the thing where you're like nervous, you're like moving your hair and everything. You're like, oh. Yeah, anyway. Alright, so I'm gonna actually make this bigger for now. Cool. Alright, so first up, if you can, grab this book right here. This is called Morpho. This is from the Morpho series. It's the Clothing Folds and Creases. This book is absolutely amazing. It breaks everything down super duper simple, and it shows you where the folds are going to happen at like each part of the body, which is really awesome. There's this other book that I had that I was like looking at and learning from called Dynamic Folds and Creases by I think it's Andrew Loomis. It's either Andrew Loomis or Bern Hogarth. And it's much more of a book that's just like kind of like a reading experience and less of a actual teaching experience. Like you actually learn a lot from reading Dynamic Folds and Drapery. I think that's what it's called, Dynamic Folds and Drapery. But it's just a lot of reading it's a lot of reading and not too much. There's explanations there, but they're not very conducive for like comic book artists or animators. Whereas this book, much so, way more is. That's how you say that word, way more. Meaning like the way that he breaks things down is like super duper simple, right? Like you're not looking at a bunch of shading and stuff. Like there is some of that here, but it's mostly just focus on anchor points and like where like wrinkled lines are going to be going towards. And I like that. It's just very simple to kind of see. Whereas like, where's that quote? Where's that quote at? Let me show you. I hope I didn't throw it away. I might have thrown it away. Like that. If you hear kids screaming, that's because my fucking neighbors are don't know how to. Anyway, I gotta say that. Alright, I don't know where that. I had like a printout of this book, but anyway, don't worry about it. It's not that good. Basically, how you can kind of study this thing, right? Because I've gotten a lot of like how to draw books over the years, and there really is like no like nobody teaches you how to like really like study from a book, other than just kind of like taking this, right, and just like kind of drawing like what you're seeing, right? Like, which is like a good way to practice this, right? Just kind of spending a couple minutes every day just doing something like this. Right? Because I feel like most books don't really teach you. I mean, there's a couple books that have like a step-by-step kind of thing, which is always good, but this book doesn't really have that. It just kind of shows you like basic introduction to folds, where they're going to be happening at, where they're going to be happening at on the body, on hats, the torso, arms, upper limbs, what they call it, gloves. Like, this book is amazing. Like, get this book and just have it out with you, like, while you're drawing. But the basic, like, the thing that I kind of like know about folds just from like looking at folds a lot is just like there's certain parts of the body that are gonna have folds, right? Like they're where like you can always know that there's gonna be a fold at, right? So like on the torso, there's always gonna be folds here, and then you have, I forget what this one's called, but it's basically this guy, right? Where it's like these 2 points, like things are just flowing from both your shoulders and kind of going down because of gravity. Right? When you get to your legs and your arms, it's kind of really the same too. Like, say this is like an arm, right? And you have like a long sleeve on, you're gonna see like folds here, and like here and here, because it's like you're getting folds from the shoulder. This is called what is this called? Your elbow, and then your wrist, right? And then with the legs, same thing. Draw a leg real quick. Right. You always have folds happening you have folds or wrinkles or creases happening around your pelvis, your knee, and your ankle. All right. So that's like what I've kind of just gathered from this book and just like doing a lot of wrinkle studies and stuff. But the best way to study wrinkles is just by studying drawing clothing, all right? Like either going through this book here and just kind of redrawing the stuff in your sketchbook is always a good thing. Like, just kind of doing so like this, right? But this guy, he just says, like, the thing that I kind of like about this book is like its honesty. He was just like, look, man, like, a lot of these studies that I did in this book are basically just like digital tracings, like, you know, like looking at people wearing cool clothing that the person found like fascinating, and just doing like a trace over of that, right? Because it's like you're just learning, like, you know, so like you don't. This isn't like anatomy practice, right? You're just mostly learning where the folds are, how the folds are going, and whatnot. So like I kind of would take this book and like on weeks where I'm like I'm really trying to get focused on wrinkles and stuff, like I'll either start my day with just studying from this book and literally just doing what I'm doing now, just kind of studying, just like copying basically. And this is like one way to kind of do it, and what you'll get from doing this is, like I said, you'll just see where folds are going, like where folds are being placed at. Because if you look at, yo, what's up, Kova? How you doing? Because if you look at like, I think it's good to kind of study this and study from real life. Because if you look, like if we do this, where's my thing? Where's my thing at? Where's my thing? Razor remote. Okay, so right. So if we look at like this is like clothing based off of like real life. This is called Morpho. It's from the Morpho series called Clothing Folds and Creases. Highly recommend getting this book. It's amazing. All right. And I'm just kind of winging it. Sorry if I'm like kind of loosely. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about the book before jumping into just drawing. So if you look at like this though, right? Like I'm going to draw a couple of these. And I'll kind of like walk you through that. All right. So if we're just studying just straight from life, like I'll sometimes just start my day off with going to, like I make like a Pinterest page of just folds, like, you know, basically like anything I can find that's kind of like this, where it's like someone like doing like a movement while wearing clothing, or I'll just go record videos of myself doing it, you know, just to kind of see. So feel free to draw along. I'm just going to draw like pretty much kind of all of these. But I always start with, even if I'm studying like folds and stuff, I will still do the body construction, just because like you don't want to just be drawing like folds on nothing, because you're not really understanding like the concept behind it, right? Okay, so let's see what this looks like on you guys. I wish I had 2 screens. Oh yeah, Morpho has some good art books. Yeah, I just got into Morpho. I didn't really know they were a thing until I think I was watching Daniel Warren Johnson's stream, and he was showing those off. Okay, so what you don't want to really do, like, it's really tempting, like, when you're kind of studying from life, to just start, like, you know, kind of shading and doing stuff like this, right? You don't really want to start by doing that. You kind of want to figure out, like, where are all of the anchor points, right? Like, where are all the folds kind of going towards? You'll see a lot of folds on this particular pose. They're going towards, like, the wrist. The shoulders has, like, a lot of folds kind of emanating from it. And then, like, the shirt is, like, tucked in, so you have, like, a lot of folds and a lot of anchor points coming from here. And you also have an anchor point over here. So an anchor point, though, is basically, like, wherever you see folds, like, emanating from or to, that's an anchor point. And knowing that can kind of help you, after you've done enough studying, you can kind of go and make up your own folds, just kind of from memory. Like, once you kind of know where everything's kind of emanating from, you don't really need reference. I mean, you do, but you can really just kind of wing it if you know where everything's kind of coming from. There's also another anchor point up here, because these lines are also going up here a little bit. And two, like, also, like, when you're kind of doing these studies, like, I'm a cartoonist, so I'm not exactly trying to go for like, super duper realistic wrinkles. Like, I'm kind of always cartooning and, like, stylizing stuff. So I'm always just kind of going for just, like, lines like this, basically. Just super simple lines. So try that. I mean, if you really, really just want to focus only on wrinkle practice, just download a bunch of this stuff, and if you have like an iPad or something, just trace over this stuff, you know? Like, you don't, like, you're really just trying to just kind of understand what's happening, right? So, like, you don't really need to sit here and redraw everything, but I like to, just because I draw by hand, and I want to get as much mileage as I can. So that's why I'm drawing by hand. Let's do this other one. Sometimes too, like in the past, like when I was really kind of hammering wrinkle practice, I would set a timer. But I'm not gonna do that today, because I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna draw. Alright, so got my mannequin there. Let's find where these anchor points are on this guy. So got some stuff hanging off this arm. Got all, it seems like all of the wrinkles are kind of emanating from here down once again, because this is tucked in. So everything's kind of coming from this side. But then you also still have the shoulder and everything kind of emanating from that. And then you got some hang time. You got some, this one's good because it shows you also that there's gravity going on as well. This one has some really interesting folds. folds. Also too, man, like a big thing this is also can be is straights versus curves practice. You know, like look at this, or like let's just look at this for a second, right? You don't really want to be drawing, I mean, unless it's your personal style, like you don't really want to be doing like curvy, right? Like you see how there's like contrast here, like this top side is super duper curvy, and then the bottom where like the drapery is like hanging, it's just kind of like one big line, right? And that's not even really me like stylizing that. Like if you look at the reference is doing that as well. All right, so like take note of that, like, because a thing that I used to kind of do, like when I'd be drawing pants, right? Like I would just do this like all the way down, because sometimes when you look at like a reference of someone wearing jeans, you do see like a lot of bumps and a lot of like, I don't know, curves and all types of different like little foldy folds, but the more that you actually study that stuff and then you look at illustrators and how they tackle drawing like clothing, you can kind of see that they pick and choose where those bumps are going to be at, and there's always going to be like one side that's a little bit more curvy and one side that's a little bit more of like a resting moment. Right here could be your resting moment. Alright, so we've got this cool fold here, got like a V. Another thing to kind of take note of is that folds a lot of times also kind of follow kind of like a volumetric pattern. That's a big word. And like volumetric meaning like we have a cylinder here, right? How do you create volumes in a cylinder? You know, doing stuff like this, which I didn't really explain very well, but that's like giving a cylinder-shaped volume is like kind of adding perspective to it. So a lot of times, like you'll see, like you see this fold right here. This is following like the breast, right? So like, let's just redraw this real quick. The breast. So we'll draw that pose one more time. Right, like if you know your construction of like a body, and especially like a female body, right, you're gonna add volume to this, right, by just making this from a 2D shape to a 3D shape, right? But adding volume, like you'll see, like if you add all these lines to kind of make this look like almost like a 3D model. Like a lot of times folds can kind of follow these like lines that your body is kind of making, if that makes sense. All right, so even if like I was just gonna wing it on this, like I know that I can just kind of follow. Sort of makes sense. Makes sense in my head. This is how I think of it. Like I can kind of use these lines, right, that the body is making in mannequin form to kind of infer, like where I want my wrinkles to go, basically. Let's do one more. Kind of based off of this. My big thing is like, I don't really have a problem drawing like what am I gonna say? Like, I don't have a problem like sitting here doing this, right? Like I don't think this is like boring, but I know like I've told, you know, I teach people and I tell them all the time, I'm like, look man, like whatever you want to get better at, you know, you just gotta go study it, right? Like, and go find like the study method that is fun for you. Like for me, I don't mind sitting here kind of drawing from references and looking at, you know, Pinterest boards that I've made of folds and different folds. So let's see, anchor point, anchor point right here. But I've told people to do this and then they don't do it, or, you know, and I guess like too, like I was kind of told like similar things, but no one ever really told me like go find the practice method that works for you, which is like which one's going to be like the most fun for you. You know what I mean? Because like practice doesn't have to be boring, like, but you need to practice. Like, you know, it's just like you need to. When I was studying wrinkles a bit, I saw one guy saying they're like a shorthand for wrinkles that are like S's and C's. Yeah. You'll see that a lot. You'll see like a lot of C's, a lot of V's. You'll see kind of S's like that. Like you'll see those a lot, like when you're doing these studies, especially when you start studying other artists, like in how they do their wrinkles. You'll see that in like cartoonists, we kind of use that language of like C's and S's and V's and W's, right? But also like when I'm also studying too, like I'm also simplifying a lot. Like you see that I'm not doing all of the like thousands of wrinkles that are found like in this one right here, right? There's like a billion wrinkles right here, but you don't really need to sit there and kind of copy every single wrinkle, right? Unless you're going for that super realistic style, then yeah, like maybe, but even still, man, like Alex Ross simplifies things, J.G. Jones simplifies things, Louis LaRosa, it doesn't look like he simplifies things, but he's simplifying things. So you always just kind of want to be simplifying things somehow, you know? Let's see. When I study, I do the same as you. I use references from online or on books. Usually in between comics, I study a lot. Yeah. I think it's fun. I don't know, man. It's like it's how you get better at this shit, you know? All right. So now I'm gonna I also do like to throw in like the shading. Like this is also a good time to get some shading practice in. All right. So we're gonna stay on this guy. Big thing again, like. Guys that I like that do shading is like Eduardo Rizzo, Chris Samnee, Charles Burns, Elaine Dodier, who we'll look at in a little bit. But they're using, there's no mid-grade, there's like no mid-tone in their work, which I like, and I put it in my work. I don't really have a mid-tone. So any shadow that I see in the reference in my eye, that's black, right? And so then it just kind of comes to just stylizing the shape. All right. So we're gonna stylize the hell out of this. Ooh, that is not what I want. That is Discord. Whoa. Oh yes. Where you at? Okay. Oh shit, you guys can't see it now. Okay. Cool. Perfect. Alright. And also too, like, I keep mine really messy. I've seen like other people will do this, and I'm gonna do it just for tonight, so things don't get too messy on here. But like once you kind of have that sketch down, you can kind of lighten it up, so you can really get in there and you know, you're not gonna be working with a bunch of scribbles, I guess, if that makes sense. So up here we've got. Here's our first, speaking of shapes, like this is like a Y, right? It's like our first little Y, and then it kind of goes to this cool little triangle or a V. You'll see a lot of Y's, V's, K's, W's, C's, and V's, some M's. We got an M right here. And like I said, like it's really just like I'm working in a simplified style. So all of that to me right there is just black. I would ink that as black. Black. Got some bumps, some straights. Down here, I see a lot of folds, and my first inclination is just to make like this weird kind of like nautical star kind of shape. But it's up to you how you want to do it. Alright, so we'll go back to these guys too. We'll do the same, because we are going to ink. You know, you don't want to just pencil, right? You do want to get some ink in there too. At least I do. Any kind of study session, I'm probably maybe studying too many things at once. You know, like a good study session would be like just pencil practice or just inking practice. Like you can kind of break it down into however you want your study session to go, but I'm always looking for that extra mileage for when it comes to inking, like especially if I don't have like a comic that I'm working on or an illustration that I'm working on. You know, study time can also be mileage time. And all right, so this is a good example. Alright, like so you got a lot of black. Like if you were to ink this the second one, right? There's a lot of black in my eye right there. So this is also too, man, like, you know, pick your spots where you're gonna add black and how you're gonna add black, because it might be too much ink right there. Like if I was gonna ink that, it might be just a little too much, but another thing that kind of helps too is when you're thinking in shadows, it's always white against black or black against white, and it kind of has this pattern, right? So it's like white, so like white, black, white, black. Like if this was in a comic, right, I would maybe I don't really want white on white, because it's just, there's not much contrast there. Now we're getting a little off topic, but that's okay. Do you see how now that pops more? It says black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, black, white, black. You kind of see that? Does that make any kind of sense to you guys? I hope so. It makes sense to me. And it's kind of like how I learned. I remember reading that in a not in an Andrew Loomis book, but damn, what's that book called? I have a copy of this book, and it is like torn to shreds. But the guy in that book, he really kind of broke down, like, when you're shading, always think against, it's like white, black, white, black. Is that how you can kind of get the most contrast here, right? So now we got this guy over here. And when you're also looking at life too, this is the time where you get to kind of figure out the decisions you want to make with, like, when it comes to like stylizing things. I need to sharpen my dang pencil. Let me sharpen this dang old pencil. really wish I could zoom in a little bit more. For my bumps, this is the thing that I've kind of taken from studying Alain Dodier's work a lot. But his bumps, like when he's doing his bumps on his folds, let's see if we can get really close down there. Can you guys see that? I'll just do another one. So when he's doing his bumps, the thing that I've noticed is that they're almost like stairs. You know? Like, I know we'll look at some of Elaine's work in a second, but I just really want to finish this thing. So there's just kind of like, so you'll see me do like these bumps kind of like that a lot, and that's kind of where that's coming from. Not kind of, that is exactly where that's coming from. Studying old Mr. Alain Dodier. There's like technically a couple little lines in there for like the breasts. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't mind a good study sesh. You know, I really don't. I don't ever want to become an artist that stagnates or doesn't grow. And this is kind of the way that you can make sure that never really happens to you. Like, there's a reason why I don't really like love Steve Rude's comics or everything, but his art has been amazing for a billion years because he's always practicing, he's always studying, you know? He's always doing the damn thing. Alright, so those are just like a couple just based off of life, right? That's one way to kind of study. Just do a bunch of these, just fill a page with these, right? Which is like kind of like step one, right? Like you want to be studying from life. Maybe let's do maybe just one. Do we need to do one more? Oh man, my fucking computer's gonna die. Let's go to this guy. Let's do like one of these real quick. Because this has like a lot of like, also, okay, sorry, side note. Go to Pinterest, right? Like, can you guys see? You guys can see. Oh, hey, what's up, Monumental? So you guys can see that I'm showing my Pinterest screen, right? This is a big thing to do too when you're starting out studying anything. Go make a Pinterest board that has like a ton. Like, if you don't have access to like how to draw books on this subject that you're trying to study, literally just go on the internet, make a Pinterest account, and just fill the boards with so much, like anything that is in reference to what you're trying to study. Like wrinkles, anytime I'm lost with like wrinkles, I will come to this page because I've literally found wrinkles for every movement basically. And I just throw it all on this Pinterest page. Easier to reference, then I don't have to Google anything. I can just come here and draw. Like, so do that. If you haven't done that yet, definitely do that. Alright. How you doing, Monumental? Whoa, there's like a really cool black sad toy. Alright, well this is the downfall of Pinterest, is that it shows you a ton of shit. Like this really cool black sad toy that I kind of want to buy. but I'm not, because I'm a little bit of a broke boy right now. But damn, this is cool. What? We'll look at that in a second. I'm gonna draw this one right here in the middle on the bottom row. If you guys want to draw along with me, definitely do it. Pick whichever one. But that one has like a lot of really cool, interesting folds and creases in that. When I was also studying, like really going hard with studying folds, there's a couple places they'll teach you all the fold names. It's like when you go to study anatomy, right? Like there's some people that tell you like study every single part of the body. Like you should know all the different finger joints, all the different muscles in the hand, all the different muscles in the arm. I don't know, man, like maybe reading over that stuff like once or twice is like a good thing to kind of do, like familiarize yourself a little bit. But are you trying to be a doctor, or are you trying to be a comic book artist or animator, right? You're never going to be like, no one's going to hire you because you know all the names of every muscle, right? They're going to hire you if they're going to hire you because they see that you grasp that subject, right? Grasp the subject, but also just know that you don't need to memorize all these things. It's overkill. Like it's just, and I've taken videos, like I've bought courses on like getting better at anatomy, and where they do that kind of stuff, and it's like you're sitting up there. It's like I'm going to med school all of a sudden, you know. Oh yeah, let's. So anyway, I'll quit ranting. Let's get back in. So as you can see, as we talked about earlier, I did my construction lines just so you have a body to put the wrinkles on top of. And now let's identify all the anchor points going on here. So what we have here is you have this kind of crunching effect of the folds like around here. I forget what this type of fold is called, but it's basically when it's basically from moving two things towards each other, like they bunch up. Damn, I forgot what that shit's called. So maybe you actually do need to like memorize all the stuff. But here's a good example of it, right? It just happens when fabric is being bunched and smushed together. But there is a term for it. Let me see if it says it here. Anyway, I don't know what the hell it's called. It's in this book somewhere, so just look it up. Buy this book. I'm gonna keep showing people this book. It's very good. All right, so this could essentially be, I wouldn't really call this an anchor point, but yeah, I wouldn't really call all this bunching here anchor points. You have anchor points though coming from here, those armpits again, and now like since this arm is kind of bunched up, you're also creating a anchor point where the elbow is. You're creating another one over here as well, and that's pretty much it. I guess like the middle of this could be an anchor point because you do have some lines kind of emanating from down here that are kind of meeting in the middle. So yeah, just remember, like, it's like body construction first, find the anchor points, and then you can start doing all of the details. And I'm gonna make this just a little bit bigger because I cannot see this shit. Okay, there we go. Let me know if you guys can still see. Okay, you guys can totally still see. Alright, so yeah, now just get in there and draw. Yeah. So straights versus curves. I'm gonna make this side the kind of straighter part. I'm gonna basically kind of focus first on like all of like the really big folds that I'm seeing first. Try not to just start going in and just doing all like the detailed work. It's just like anything else that you're gonna study in art, right? Start with the biggest stuff that you can see first, and then go in later with like the detail. You should do more sketchbook tours or looking at some of your original pages for your comic. Yeah, sure. If you guys are into that, I will totally show you my sketchbooks. My sketchbooks, though, are sketchbooks. Like, I mean, there might be a piece or two in there every now and then, but it's mostly filled with shit like this. Like, it's practice time for me. Gym time is what I call it. Yeah, my sketch, I'm not one of those people that, like, puts out a really cool looking sketchbook. I kind of wish I was, but I really save all that kind of energy for when it's time to draw. Alright. So, like, take a look at just this, right? Like, there's like one more, right? Like, see how that right there is like good enough, right? It's kind of up to you, like your personal taste or like who you're influenced by or like what you're trying to really get across to keep going right here, right? Like for me, like I would probably stop here, maybe add in a couple of these more of these little guys around here. Yeah, I'll get like a couple more. But let's actually take a quick look too. Because you do have like some cool crunchies going on. I like to call these guys little crunchies. If you look over here, right, you kind of have a lot of this kind of going on. You got a lot of crunchies. I call them crunchies. They definitely have another name. Right, but simplify all that, right? Like you don't really need to go too hard with all that. Oh shit, I have to get my charger. My computer's gonna die in like 2 seconds. Alright, real quick, I'm gonna go grab my computer charger. And then there's actually like one more kind of crunchy up here. Alright, yeah, give me 1 second. I gotta get my computer charger. Okie dokie, we're back. Okay. Stream is saved, everybody. Alright, so from there, now it's time for me personally to figure out where all the shading is going to go. So I'm just going to erase this back, give myself a nice little clean slate. So on this one, this is very neutral lighting. This is why it also kind of sometimes sucks to draw from life, because a lot of times people, when they take their pictures, they take very neutral lighting, right? Like the lighting is from all angles on this piece, so it's kind of hard to figure out where you're gonna throw some shading in there. But like I said, for me, anything that I see that is gray or a mid-tone in life, I automatically just make that black. So that's what I'm pretty much gonna do here. But if you want to practice, like shading and stuff, and like just take some pictures of yourself wearing the type of clothing that you're trying to kind of draw, and you can set up your own lighting and you can do your studies based off of that. But just know that like you will see, like when you are kind of drawing like from the internet, you will most likely be seeing very neutral lighting. Just because like a lot of this stuff is used for like fashion, like you'll run into like a lot of fashion. I don't want to say illustrations, but like fashion pictures, like like if you're looking at clothing and stuff, you're gonna see a lot of fashion stuff, and it's all about making the clothes look as good as possible. So that's why the lighting is very bright, very neutral. There's like little to no wrinkles. You kind of want to stay away from fashion magazines outside of just like, oh, I'm gonna like steal this costume and then make it into my own kind of thing. You kind of want to look at fashion illustration for that. You don't want to be looking at fashion illustration to study. And that's what like I've kind of come across. And then I forget the class that I took online. It was on Jake Parker's website, SVS Learn. I believe it was drawing wrinkles from imagination. I'm not sure if that class is still available, but if it is, definitely take it, definitely download it. It's a really good class, and the woman that teaches it is very good at explaining folds and gives you some really good practice things to do. Yeah. So that's how I would ink that. So anyway, so that's one way to study, is just study from life, study from like a Pinterest board, right? Which is fun, but this can get boring to just always only be studying from life, right? Like I said, we are comic book artists, or illustrators and shit like that. So you want to kind of also take that time to study from the people in your field. So study the people that you like. Someone that I really like who draws wrinkles and folds immaculately is Alain Dodier and his Jean que Jean Bluche book series. It's an amazing book, but it is, just look at the cover, right? Look at these cool folds. Like, he goes ham drawing the folds. I love that they're all just like have like a personality to them. They all have like a life of their own. Like, he just draws like my favorite folds. I mean, just look at this stuff. To me, it's just like a very good entry point into how to draw folds. All right, so another thing that I like to do then is just open up one of these books and, oh man, you guys can't see shit. The lighting sucks today, man. Okay. So I'll just take, any of these panels and just redraw the people in the panels. I do this a lot for my warm-up. Like, a lot for my warm-up is opening up any comic really, and just redrawing some poses that I see, and especially focus on wrinkles, because studying from life is good. It's going to help you understand what folds are naturally doing in real life, right? But studying other artists is good because you can see what other people are kind of what's the word? Stereotyping, or like how everybody is basically simplifying things. It's really good to do it with artists that you are personally into. You can kind of see how they simplify things. So simplification is very important. And see, this is so fun that I'm literally just drawing. I'm not identifying any of the anchor points. So anchor point is this elbow. Anchor point is this elbow again. there's an anchor point up here. And then if you look, so these are like your anchor points. Like you see that all like the folds and the creases are all basically going to this point here. They're going to this point here. Like everything is flowing up towards this because the arm is moving up, right? So this is another thing that you'll pick up on by studying other people and studying from life. But I also like to think of this as just like I'm learning French right now, and I consider comics and illustration as a language, you know. Like studying your favorite artists helps familiarize yourself with the language of comics, the language of illustration, the language of animation. Because you'll see that a lot of people, okay, so here, right, let me just explain. What you got going on here is this, essentially, which probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but if we were to volumize this shape, right, that's what you're looking at. So your folds are kind of going to be going up and over this like flap of clothing. So it's also good to like try to analyze like what's happening with what you're drawing, especially when you're doing like a study sesh, because it is really easy when you're doing this to just go into automatic mode where you're just looking at something and drawing it, right? You want to always kind of you want to know what you want to know why this person's doing the thing that they're doing. The only thing I will say with Elaine and most like French artists, they do this like zigzag thing for their wrinkles. I have no idea why they do it. I like it though, and it's something that I put into my art, but I have no idea why French cartoonists do that. Outside of it just like looking really cool. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, people are texting me. Alright, so let's do a couple more. Studies from Alain Daudier. Right, and like you don't have to redraw, you know, the whole body. I'll sometimes even just break it up. Like you can, but you know, buyer's choice. I don't know. One thing I really suck at drawing is like footwear. So I think one of these next streams is just going to be dedicated to just footwear practice, because I am really bad at drawing like footwear, feet. I'm not bad at drawing feet. Like I can draw feet, but like drawing cool shoes is very challenging for me. All right, so we've got an anchor point here at the butt, and you'll see all these lines. See all these lines here are kind of going up to here, and then they're going down because of gravity. feel like also this is like another way to figure out why an artist you like is an artist that you like, is by doing studies of their work. You know? You can figure out like, oh, I really like that they simplify folds. Or they do like really cool little ziggy-zaggies for their folds. For me, honestly, like I just think Elaine's work just has so much personality in it, and that it depicts real life. You know, he's found a way to draw real life in a way that's very expressive and cartoony as hell. Alright, so this is a tough one. Because, let's see, there's anchor point here, anchor point here, anchor point here, right? And this arm's going up. So we've got you see all these lines are kind of going toward like up and around to this anchor point here, and then they're like kind of cascading downward. So like not everything is like wrapping around. And another thing I like that Elaine does is just breaks up these lines really interestingly. Like that's an L. Like this is like a Y. He works with that that like line alphabet. It's kind of what I'd like to call it. Like a lot. Okay. So, you know, I'm not really trying to practice drawing a vest right now, but we will just draw it just for because it's there. And the other reason I really like Alain Dodier's work is because he's kind of like an aficionado of straights versus curves. Straights versus curves method. Like, see this little stuff right here, right? Like, I honestly don't know why he's doing this right here. But I like it, you know? Just looks cool. That's like another big thing you'll kind of discover with a lot of artists that you like, is just like, yeah, they're just doing shit that looks cool. I should draw this back a little bit bigger because there's some stuff in the middle. Damn, man, these books are heavy today. What the hell? What the hell? There we go. What the hell? What the hell? There's a pocket. I feel like most comic book artists have studied other people drawing pouches more than they've actually drawn pouches. Alright, and we'll do one more. Let's just do one more. I mean, honestly, guys, if you really want to learn how to do folds, just pick up a Jerome Blush book. It's Fold City, man. Alright, we'll do this one up here. There's my script for Nosebleed. And this is pretty much like how I do like pretty much all of my study sessions, man. It's just, you know, pick a topic, hands, feet, bodies, wrinkles, everything. Just pick on, study from life for like 30 minutes. And then after that's kind of gotten like a little bit dry, grab one of your favorite comics from one of your favorite people. And draw their shit. Yeah, awesome. Anchor points. So you got the squishing happening here to get this fold right here. You've got bunching, we'll call these bunching, right? All these 3 points right here. And then, since he's grabbing this coat right here, he's creating a tension point or an anchor point. So all these other lines now are going to be emanating from that. Alright, so once we've kind of got the basic concept down, now we can continue to draw. Yeah, just try to remember just to like do a little bit of analyzation. As you're doing your studies. Because also like learning a language, like I know there's like some people think like, oh, just listen to French. See, there's a Z right there. Or just listen to Spanish and then you'll be able to pick up Spanish. It's like, no, you still gotta speak it, you know? You still have to speak Spanish. You still have to speak French. And then the other thing too, like, you don't have to stick completely to the reference as well. Whether you're copying somebody's stuff, whether you're like studying someone's stuff or studying from life, like you don't have to be direct, right? Okay. So, you know, do that for however long your study sessions are. So we got some. So, like I said, I always like to get some inking practice in. So let's grab some pens real quick. We can do that. And this is also really good for if you're one of those people that's like kind of new to inking and you're like afraid to, you know, maybe ink your own pencils. Draw someone else's stuff and ink their stuff. Or print out some pencils. I feel like this also makes me like remember the comic way more. Like when I've like studied stuff from people's comics, I'll just like remember like pages like so much more now. Elaine's stuff also is just like so fun to ink because it's complicated, but it's also simple. In my head, it's like it's the perfect medium between super simple looking art, but it is complicated what he's doing. Boom. Go back to stuff we did from life. Don't forget this stuff too. I think if you're trying to become a cartoonist, especially like a comic book person, ink as much as possible. Yo, what's up, Nick? How's it going? Right, because see, like this is where you can make the mistakes, you can try new shit. Like this is what my sketchbook is filled with. It's just shit like this. A little thicker since this is where the light is coming from down here. It's good. Had a fire drill at work in the middle of dinner. Was in the parking lot on a conference call, like a corporate chill. Nice. Wait, where do you work that they're having fire drills? I haven't done a fire drill in ages. I feel like that was where I'd always get detention. Because like I would not take it seriously at all. I'd be like talking while you're supposed to just be sitting there. Always got detentions. Kind of fire drill. I think if I could go back in time, I would tell my younger self, like, dude, chill. You gotta chill, bro. I'm trying to use this big guy up. I wish all comic book pages were like this big. My inks would be so sick. Fuck I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate drawing at 11 by 17, but boy, is it tricky. Like, you'll do something in your head and you're like, oh man, this is gonna look so sick. And then you get to the page and you're like, oh fuck, I don't have enough room to go as detailed as I want. Fire drill as in an emergency, it was a legal matter. Oh, nice. You're like on the phone, you're like, sell, sell, sell. In the middle of dinner, bro? Do these people have no shame? Not in the middle of dinner, bro. I tell my supervisor, like, I'm gonna take this call, but I'm not gonna stop eating dinner. I will be arguing with my kids whilst on this call, just so we're all clear. Do you guys have kids? Should I have kids? My wife wants to have. Maybe I'll have one. But I feel like having one is just gonna breed a weirdo. I think I should have two, but I don't think I make enough money to have two kids. Oh. Yeah, my Pepperidell was called Pepperidell. Well, if you're a lawyer, you can charge them for that, though, right? Be like, yo, I'll take this call, but I'm gonna bill you for it. Kudos on the calf acknowledgement. As a childish millennial, I am happy. Oh man, childless millennial, hell yeah. Oh yeah, also thanks about the comic thing, man. I didn't even know that was a channel. I still gotta go check it out. I didn't see what they said, but I went to the link that you sent me and I looked at what other people said about the piece, and I was glad that it was positive. It's always kind of tricky reading comments about your work. Because there's some old work of mine up there that it's just like, oh fucking Jesus. Like there's this Punisher I drew probably like 10 years ago that this guy commissioned me to draw. And I just was not skilled, and like all the comments are just like bashing it. I really wish this person would take that piece down. I really wish they would take that piece down so badly. I got big ups. I'll watch the video. If you say it's good, I'll definitely watch it. I am a sensitive boy. So even good compliments still, I'm just like, well, these guys are idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm not that good. Still suck. But yeah, if you go to Derek Jones on that Comic Arts CAF or whatever, man, yeah, there's a Punisher I drew. If the person who I drew that Punisher for hits me up and is like, yo, I want like another piece, I'd be like, bro, I got you. Also, I will totally redraw that Punisher. Because like now, I feel like I could crush that Punisher now. But yeah, oh man, this is what sucks about like being a millennial and just like you know, your whole art career is basically already archived on the internet, you know? The DiCaprio meme. That's hilarious. Yeah, there's just so much bad art out there of mine because I've literally been learning to draw since I've been on the internet. I've been posting, like, my entire art career is literally on the internet for all to see. So it's just like, you come across some stuff and you're just like, ah, Jesus Christ, I can't believe that's on there. If there is a way to delete this, boy, would I. Alright. So there you go. Study from life. Study from your favorite artist, right? And fill up like a couple pages in your sketchbook with just, you know, stuff like this, right? But here's like the kicker that I want you guys to not get into that I got into, and I think a lot of artists probably all fall into, is the study trap, right? You don't want, it's very easy and addictive to fall into just studying all the time, right? Like, I don't know what it is, like the psychology behind it, but there's like this weird psychology of like studying makes it feel like you're doing work when you're not. You're just studying. Alright, so like you gotta go like apply this shit. That's why it's kinda good to like ink your studies, because at least you're kind of getting practice and you're getting inking mileage. So like in a way you kind of are doing the work, you kind of are actually improving if you're doing that. But still, I mean, you can spend a whole year just hanging out in the sketchbook, and then you'll notice that a year goes by and you got all these, you know, studies in a sketchbook. But what was happening to me was that I'd be studying like crazy, and then like I'd go to like try to just draw something out of my head and it would look like shit still. And I mean, and it's like, dude, I've been studying anatomy and clothing and drapery for 6 months. Like, how can I still not draw out of my head? Because I was not practicing drawing out of my head from the stuff that I just studied, right? So a real easy way to not get caught in that trap is to study, and then like immediately like study for a piece that you're creating. Like say you're like, I want to improve my wrinkles, right? And then say you've either got a commission or you got a comic page coming up that you're going to do. Make sure that either every panel in that comic page has like wrinkles in it. That's a really good way to like get that practice in. Or on your commission, be like, okay, I'm going to like, hopefully, like, I don't know, they commission you to draw like Superman or something, and like you can really go to work adding like a ton of wrinkle play on that cape. Or maybe you have him fighting a bunch of guys that all have, you know, they're all SWAT team guys and like they have clothing or something. You know what I mean? Like, put that practice into a piece that you're gonna do. If you don't have anything coming up, what you can do after a practice session is just like we just practice a bunch of folds. So the easiest thing to do is just take like a blank sketchbook page, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna draw some. I just practice wrinkles. Like, I'm gonna draw a character, you know, covered in clothes, and I'm just gonna do it just all out of my head, right? Like, let's see. And this is sketchbook shit. This isn't shit that, you know, you post. This is just like applying like the study, you know? God damn, who is calling me? Alright, hold up, sorry guys. Okay, hello, we're back. Okay, so easiest thing to do to apply your study, and it's gonna suck, and it's gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt, but you're just gonna make shitty art after you, like most of the time after your studies, right? But try to like either make up a pose. It has to come from your head, right? So make up some wacky pose where there's like a lot of movement, right? To where you can apply all of the study stuff that you just did. Like you're studying wrinkles, right? So bust out a mannequin. Holy fucking shit. Hold up, sorry guys. This is what happens when you're married. Okay, so my fucking fiance is like trying to, she's like, what do you want for dinner? I'm like, I don't know, I'm streaming. And then her phone dropped, the call dropped, so then I called her back, and then it like went immediately to voicemail. Then she called me back, I picked up, and it just ended for some odd reason. Very annoying. I don't fucking know what we're gonna eat. But anyway, so try to come up with something from your head. Just pick a pose, any pose. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be fucking shitting me. Hold on, guys. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, that's figured out. Anyway, so just come up with like a pose. This will also give you like some mannequin practice. Mannequin. I think I'm gonna make pizza tonight, you guys. I'm pretty amped on that. So some mannequin practice. Got a little bit of the ADHD brain tonight. Apologies. Alright, so you got yourself a pose, right? So now, throw some clothing on this guy. All from your head first, right? So anchor points. This leg is going forward and up. So anchor point is right here. The other anchor points are right here at the pelvis. Anchor point is right here at the what is that? Your hip. Your knee, also an anchor point. Knee is also an anchor point. This foot is an anchor point. This foot's an anchor point. This leg's going down, right? Down. So let's just stay here for a second, right? Because there's a lot. So I like to just kind of do like the outline of the pants. I know that there's like, this is since this leg is kind of lifting up, there's going to be a little bit of bunching going on because this is also a, you know, this is a high wrinkle zone or whatnot. So this is how I do my wrinkles, a la Alain Dodier, right? If you look at a lot of comic pages, there aren't wrinkles up here. There's wrinkles like in the middle of like the inseam on pants. And then like there's no wrinkles down here because this is where like your thigh is, but there's wrinkles up here and they're always kind of going towards the knee. Which is a good thing to kind of remember. Right here you have that like that bunch. I guess these are gonna be tight jeans. Tight jeans, tight pants. What's that song? Tight pants, hot pants? No. Pants so tight. That Iggy Pop song. Alright. Anyway. And then back here, this leg is going up. So the loose fabric on this leg down here is gonna be kind of falling away from here. Hi, sweetie. She's home, everybody. The lady that's been fucking calling so much. Jeez Louise, did you get it figured out? I thought you were at the store.
No, I wanted to talk to you. I'm too hungry to go to the store.
Oh my god.
But once you get off the stream, we can.
I'm gonna get off the stream in like 5 minutes. It's hot until you get used to it. It's just because you're warm. Can you say hi to everybody since you're destroying the stream?
Who was watching?
I don't know.
Okay.
Nick's here. Nick's definitely here. Nick Frost.
Who's that?
He's a Patreon. He's cool.
Oh, hi.
Cool dude. Fellow art lover. Okay, so this leg back here, right, is lifting up. So the pants leg is going to be draping forward. When wifey gets home, yes. Oh shit, Monumental's here as well. We got the homies up in here. So this pants leg is going to droop down, and then you also have an anchor point now from this, what is this, your ankle? Yeah. So you can do a little line going towards that. All these lines right here are going to be cascading down because of gravity, and they're all going towards your anchor points down here and here. So just make sure these lines are kind of doing that. And then down here, right, like pants bunch, so you can kind of do this. I already fed her. Everybody's saying hi. Okay. She's talking to her cat. Alright. So that's the pants. And that's all from memory, right? That's all, like, this is like a really quick way to apply what you just studied, right? And you know, this will get better for you guys the more that you do it. Like the first like 10 are gonna suck. Don't give up. You just have to just fight through that to where you kind of get to this, right? Like this for me is a drawing for me in my comic, right? Like this is how I would approach a comic. The way to check this now, right, is put on, you know, put some clothes on, obviously. Put some clothes on, you maniac, and take a picture of yourself doing the pose that you made up in your head, right? Like do it as close as you can kind of get to it with the clothing on that you have, and you kind of compare, right? Like you can, this is like a way that you can kind of go back and see what you got right, see what you got wrong. I have shorts on and I don't feel like changing, but that's another thing that I would do, is I would do that. So let's do this shirt real quick and then I think we'll get out of here. Well, yeah, because we got 20 minutes. So, all right. So anchor points, right here, right here. All of this is going to be straight because this is where the fabric and the skin are touching. All of this is going to be the curve zone. All right, so we got a anchor point right here, anchor point right here. I really got to learn what is that. This is also an anchor point. We're gonna do one short sleeve and one long sleeve. This is an anchor point, and this is also an anchor point, right? So find out where all your anchor points are. This is an anchor point, you know? And then do some directional lines, right? Like this arm is lifting up, and then the forearm here is pushing back, right? So this is gonna kind of give you a clue to where all of your wrinkle lines need to go towards, right? So this will be like the long sleeve one. So we gotta have a crunch right here, and since this is where the fabric, like the arm is, like you can kind of see it, right? Like, see how this is draping down? Like you gotta just kind of have to remember that. Like my arm is going up, this is draping down. If my arm were to go closer to my body, do you see that the fabric pushes out that way? So boom. So just kind of remember that. So this is like, this arm is going back, so it's going to cause a little bit of like stretching kind of going on, right? Because this arm is pulling back. So you can throw some lines kind of going across the body just to kind of give you that, you know, when you're doing this, you're going to get some stretchy marks. And I'll just do one big one for now, right? I already fed her. Yep, just so you know. Okay. Let's see. This arm is pushing back, right? So you're not really gonna get too many. There'll be a little bit of wrinkles here, but I'm gonna kind of do this. Like I know that I'm going to put like, this is where like the fabric is going to be draping away from this hand. I actually could probably go a little bit more. Because I know that over here, since this arm is going back, right, it's going to be pushing up against this fabric over here. And then causing this fabric, depending on how loose this shirt is, to go forward. I'm just going to say this is like a standard long sleeve t-shirt, so it's not going to be like too crazy. And then, like, since you know that this is all, like this arm is going back towards this anchor point here and here, you can kind of do, you'll see this a lot, like a cascading, yeah, thanks a lot. She's making popcorn. Like a cascading effect, all kind of emanating from this anchor point up here. And like I said, like I do like this like little like stair trick, just to kind of add a little bit of volume. And then from here, do something like that. So the other thing too, you can have like one big line that's kind of connecting, but you don't want all of your lines to be doing that, because look how like weird that looks, right? Have like just a solid line. You can have one that kind of breaks, and then all these other ones can kind of give the illusion that they're going back towards that. Why? Why don't you want to connect it? Because it just looks. It'll give it like this weird bumpy effect. If that makes sense. Okay, so pants are going to be tucked here. So for tucking, tuck, tuck, tuck. You always kind of have like this bump beforehand. And it kind of makes this like ribbon effect when you're doing like tucked in stuff. Once again, this comes from observation, so do your studies, do your due diligence. Right. Now, over here, see how this side's like kind of mostly straight and just fairly just like simple lines. Now you can go a little ham over here, right? We're gonna do a short sleeve shirt over here. So there's always like a little bit of a bump because the more you move up, like you have your what is this? Your deltoid and this is your deltoid. This is your bicep. Like the fabric is gonna bunch as this muscle flexes. It'll kind of do a little bit of a bump. So you'll see that a lot. Some people don't really do that, but it's just what I see and then what I like to draw. All right. So this is a anchor point, anchor point, anchor point. Like I said, same thing over here. Like do that one big line, and then you can do some little small guys after that. You don't want to draw big lines like that. I mean, actually, it kind of looks cool, but yeah, that actually works. Let me erase some of this. All right. And then I'll just do like that. All right. Yo, what up? What's going on, Black? So yeah. All this is just from memory and then just like remembering where your anchor points are and kind of knowing where the body's moving, right? So what you could do, right, after you've done this, like I said, take a picture of yourself doing this pose with like the clothes that are very similar to like what your character just did, and then compare and contrast, right? Like see where you can see what you got right, see what you definitely got wrong, and then just fix it, like fix it on this. And then now you've, like inked this or whatever. And now you've like applied what you've learned from your studies. You're not just studying for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you got to study and then apply it. Study, apply. Study, apply. Study, apply. Mostly nowadays, like my study sessions are geared towards either my commissions or nosebleed pages, right? So, I have like a page coming up where it takes place on the septa. So like I said earlier, man, like get a Pinterest board together of like a bunch of wrinkles and folds. Have that so you can always reference that. But the other thing too, I guess like one last little tidbit that I'll say is draw first, right? Like you see how we did this whole thing first, and I mean it's not a masterpiece or whatever. But we did this whole thing first, like just out of my head, just trying to remember the anchor points and where the body's going and all the folds and where they're going to go. Then you could either go take a picture or go look at reference and then make the changes. All right. Do it in that order. Try not to go like think of a pose and then go try to find that pose on the internet and then try to find the clothes that are going to be on that pose. Like you're just wasting so much time trying to do that. And I used to do that like a lot. I used to take pictures of myself doing all the poses that my characters were going to be doing, and it would take like an hour to do that. And then I'd sit there and draw from, like, you know, I'd be looking at the photos, and I'd be looking at my drawing, looking at the photos, looking at my drawing, and you're really just breaking your concentration, and you're not gaining confidence in your knowledge in your drawing. So you don't want to start with the reference first. Like, what you can do is do what we did earlier, which is study from reference first, right? Like, do a couple studies from whatever you're trying to reference. Like, if, like, say you have to draw a Honda Civic, right? Nobody knows what the fuck a Honda Civic looks like just off the top of the dome, right? So go pull up a Pinterest page of Honda Civics, draw from those Honda Civics for like an hour, right? Put the reference away. Go try to then go draw a Honda Civic from your memory, right? And then go back, look at some references of Honda Civics, and then apply those references onto your Honda Civics. Boom. Then you do that enough, you won't have to look at references of Honda Civics. You know what I mean? You'll just be able to just go. All like we just kind of did. Alright. Oh shit. Not much. Just chilling. How about you? Oh, I didn't see any of this. I was fascinated to see how much photo reference material Alex Ross uses in making his pieces. Man gets models that look like the JL to paint from. Yeah, dude. Like, Alex Ross, J.G. Jones, a lot. Daniel Warren Johnson, Jim, what was his name? Kim Jong-gi. Like, all those guys use references. And I try to tell this to, like, my, I hate saying that I have students, but just people that I teach, I just feel more comfortable saying that. But I try to tell these people, I'm like, look at reference, bro. Like, make a reference sheet before you just, like, start drawing. Like, it is, like, we all just want to sit and draw. Like, do that. Like, definitely do that. But, like, you kind of have to solidify certain things. Like, let's take a look at something, right, that I use references for. You guys said you wanted to see some comic pages. Here's some comic pages. Hi, Thanos. How are you? Thanos is in the building, everybody. Okay. We'll look at these two things and then I gotta go. Right. People don't use reference all the time, though. That's like the crazy thing. It's like I've talked to so many people that, like, will just be like, oh, I don't look at references. Like, they're like adverse to it, because I think somewhere along the line people think that it's cheating to use reference for some odd reason. I don't understand it, but if you're, like, kind of new to drawing, just get that out of your head now. Like, use reference. Everybody that you know uses reference. This gun, right? I referenced the shit out of this gun because I drew the gun first, like, just kind of like, I did a couple studies of, like, an M16 assault rifle, and I just kind of drew it, and, you know, just was like, it's fine, it's just a gun, people are gonna know it's a gun. And I sent it to my group of buddies that all look at we all look at each other's comics and give each other, like, critiques. And one of my friends was like, dude, you gotta redraw that gun, and you gotta use a ruler. Like, that gun sucks. Like, did you look at reference? Like, what is this gun that you, like, you know, this is like a gun, and it pops up a lot in this comic. Like, you kind of need to reference a real gun and, like, get some of, like, the little intricacies of a gun. So I went back and did that, and it makes the gun look a lot more gun-like and menacing. And here's some more pages with the gun. So do that. Like, don't be afraid to, you know, look at references and study from references, study from life. There's some new pages from Nosebleed Chapter 5, by the way. You can read it on my Patreon. Link in the description. But yeah, pretty excited about these. This came out great. Okay. But yeah, man, study, draw from your head, look at reference, apply those references onto your drawing, and you'll get a good fucking drawing, I promise. Certain shit you can, like you said, you can kind of get away with. think you can strike a balance. Depends on what you need to draw. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Alright. I need to get some din in the kid, so I'm gonna go. But I hope this was fun for you guys. Like, just to kind of see that, like, studying can be fun. I hope this helped at all. Like, I kind of winged it, so I mean, I think for these study sessions, I will definitely practice them before, so that they're a little bit more, step by steps. But any feedback, message me. Please don't leave it in the comments. Don't be a fucking dick, dude. Hold up. I gotta plug some shit. Okay. Make sure you sign up for the Patreon, because I'm making a comic book series right now called Nosebleed. It used to be on artblog.com, but Artblog is shutting down, so now it's going to be on my Patreon. But you can still read over 100 plus pages for free on the Patreon. It's just all the new episodes and new pages will be behind a paywall. Paywall is super easy. It's $5 a month. You'll get personalized streams like this for the Patreon only. And there'll be videos of me talking about supplies that I use and inking techniques and stuff like that are going to be on there. But there's also 2 books of Nosebleed right now available on my Etsy. Check that shit out. It's awesome. And yeah, show this off. I just finished painting this. You guys have all, most of you guys were there for it. But if anybody wasn't there, this is finally done. Ready to ship. I am actually still taking some commissions, 11x17 and 9x12. So if you're interested in that, just know I have like a couple ahead. So I gotta, banging those out right now. But yeah, this thing came out so sick. I'm so bummed I have to send this off. And I don't really say that a lot about my art, but this one I feel pretty good about. All of them so far I felt really good about, but yeah, this was fun. This took a lot. Alright, anyway, hope that shit helps. Hope this was fun. I had fun. I will see you guys next Monday. New streaming schedule is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I'm off, Thursday I'm off, Friday I'm on. So 3 days a week. Alright, keep me honest. Alright, y'all. Peace.